Hello, I'm Clarice Hyde from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. I'm going to go on my live, make sure it's working as usual. There it is. There we go. Yes, it's working. I'm there. All good. Hopefully the Wi-Fi connection is good today and we don't get glitches, don't get glitchy, cutting bits out, important bits of the readings. So welcome, anybody that's new, anybody that's old, and all of those in between. I hope you're doing well. I'm good today. I woke up super early today, 4 o'clock. I was thinking, I hope I wake up by 6 o'clock so that I can go for a run. Hey, Mimi. So I can go for a run this morning. Woke up at 4 o'clock. In fact, I woke up at 11:30 the night before after sleeping a lot, thinking it was morning, thinking it would be about 6 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, it's still yesterday. Funny. Because I went to sleep so early last night. I was so tired. I worked all day till 4:30 from like about 7:30 in the morning. And then worked out, ate my dinner, and I was just exhausted, so I went to sleep. Oh no, I advertised my April reads. My April reads are out. Have you seen them already? Have you seen yours, Marguerite? Mimi? What are you, Capricorn? Today's daily read. Have you seen it for Monday, 30th of March? Oh, before I go into that, there's 2 hours or something left of the weekend's half-price reading, Sam. The abundance money reads. So if you want one of those, you've only got a couple of hours left to get them before they're gone. So the weekends, there's these weekend half-price sales. They're like, it's like a long weekend because I do it because I've got customers from New Zealand to America in time zones. So I try and do it so it's the weekend for everybody. Keep it going. Start it early before it's my weekend and then finish it once my weekend's done, but it's still the weekend for Americans. There we go. 29th here. Yep. It's not yet. So when is the weekend over for you, Mimi? But anyway, I try and make that window so it's everyone's weekend, so that people might be checking my website at their weekend. I don't want them to miss out just because they're in different time zones. That's what I'm trying to say. And the world is round, by the way. Any people out there that think it's flat. No. We're in different time zones. You're good. World's still turning. It is. So my beach run was lovely this morning and I had a walk after it as well. I did my usual length of run up to the north end of the beach and back, and then I walked to the south end of the beach just to cool down. It was beautiful. There was I think I only saw 2 people out there today. I saw one of the guys that are trained. Well, I don't train with him, but he trains Muay Thai. And he was training. But I think maybe I've seen he's a policeman here. I think maybe he's not very good eyesight because he was training and I waved at him and he just kind of looked. We were quite a distance away from each other. But I think maybe he can't see very well. not training in his classes. So that's my morning. Yeah, so if you want one of those half-price abundance of money readings, then go to BeHealing.com. I should just put the link up here, shouldn't I, so that people can get it. It's here. There's the link. Right, so yeah, the daily read for Monday, the 30th of March is about not letting the past drag us back. Probably this is about things pulling on us. When we're in lockdown, we've got that urge to do the things that we did before. And some people are struggling to get past that urge, obviously, because some people are still going shopping for non-essential. Some people are still going out. Some people are still visiting the friends. Some people are still like asking people around to the houses, stuff like that. That stuff is going on. So the pull of the past, of what you do in the past. And this is like a window of opportunity for us to see where our addictions are. Because, we know addictions. We know like alcohol and drugs and stuff is addictions. But sometimes we don't realize that filling our lives up with people is addiction too. And, being busy. Like, I'm not saying our lives should be completely empty, but we should be able to sit with ourselves, and when we want to fill up our lives, when we want to avoid ourselves, that's when we feel this pull of the addictions. And so it's the more subtle addictions. I'm not saying that they're all unhealthy, not. But it's still an avoidance kind of thing. So we're given an opportunity to notice what our patterns are and to resist that, especially if it's going to be dangerous, right, for you or the community. Because we never know whether we've got this virus or not, right? Look at the card for today. Despair. Da, da, da. Despair. I need your divine intercession right now, O Great Spirit. Lift this darkness from my soul. Free me from this burden. Open me to your highest plan. May I be a peaceful vessel for your love. So some people are really going through it, right? And this will be why the energies are the pulls of addiction. Anything to numb out to how people are feeling, if they're feeling this despair. I'm good, but I'm so busy with my business right now. Like, I've never been busier, really. And it's great, it's like, it's great that I'm ready for this and that I'm in this situation where I can do that and I can be there for people and can help people out. It's fantastic, and that's good. But on a personal level, for me, that means that, I'm not having to deal with a lot of the things that people are having to deal with. So in other words, I'm still getting like external validations and stuff like that. My life is still full, even though I'm in lockdown. Very much so, in fact. And so I'm not having to, maybe that's because I've already had to deal with this stuff before, I put myself in voluntary lockdown 2 years ago, stopped going out to break my habit of drinking too much, drinking too consistently, too often, too much, relying on it. And so I realized, the social thing was my trigger. Social anxiety, but being social in the first place and being social with the wrong kind of people as well. It turns out that I can't be around alcoholics. I couldn't be around alcoholics and not feel anxiety, of course, because that was my childhood, right? So I had to stop doing that. And so I had to cut my social life off. And so I've already done these isolation things, done retreats, that kind of thing. I've never done a silent retreat. Have you done retreats, Mimi? Who else is on? Who's joining me today? So yeah, I'm kind of a lucky one. I'm busy, and so I'm not having to do this while everyone else is doing it. I guess someone's got to be functional right now. But maybe those people like me that do retreats and do that inner work anyway, maybe you're not having a hard time of it either. Maybe you're still kind of functioning, still getting external validation because you don't really need it. I can hear somebody in my building. I've got this building to myself now. It's great. I like isolation. Right, so let's go deeper into the daily read. Oh, and stick around if you're on, because everyone that's on live, I'm going to give them a little mini reading after I've done this. Willingness to go for it. We've got such opportunity at the moment because we can do whatever the hell we want right now, most people. And so we can choose to be functional. We can choose to do positive things for ourselves and get moving forward on projects that we've wanted to do. You could be learning things. There's all kinds of things you can be doing. Inner work. Yeah, there's so much that we can be doing. Just got to be willing to go for it. So maybe you've got through your isolation, being lazy. I could do with a day to myself. Maybe tomorrow will be it. It's not going to be today. I've got a lot of readings to do today. Hey, Jocelyn, how are you? Who is telling him negative things about me? I don't know. I don't do predictive stuff like that. My readings are about your inner self, changing beliefs, healing yourself, stuff like that. I don't use my gift to do guessing games or stuff like that, Jocelyn. But stick around, Jocelyn, because I can give you a message from your higher self. But first, I'm going deeper into the daily read. So I've got a willingness to go for it. So a willingness to use this time productively for yourself. It could be that you want to get really fit. It could be that you want to stop drinking alcohol or something like that. You can give yourself little missions, little challenges to make you feel like you're achieving something. If the external world isn't giving you validation at the moment, if you can't work, if you're not earning money, if you're not seeing friends, you're not getting the usual external validations that fill our lives up, you can make those yourself. You can give yourself personal challenges. I did a bit of a challenge yesterday when I was doing my workout after I finished work. I do it all the time. I give myself personal challenges all the time, but I did 100 sit-ups, which is normal for me, but I did 100 burpees as well, which isn't normal for me. And my usual skip dancing and all the rest of it. Cool, Jocelyn. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. So, yeah, one step at a time, get what I want. So as I said, most of us right now have got time to choose what it is we want to do. We can choose. We've got very little external demands on us, like really knocked down to the basics, If you don't need to go food shopping, then what else is there to do? So you can keep fit. You can, there's all kinds of things to get what you want, and your higher self will lead you to the right things for you. And it could be that self-discipline has been a thing. I think it's been a thing for a lot of people. Life has been very easy. And when you're not challenging yourself, when you're not giving yourself these little goals, then people can get all soft and squishy. People can get like lazy, life's too easy, inflexible, thinking that life should be easy. And then challenges come along like this, and you don't have what it takes to rise up to it. And so this is saying that you can have what you want, but you're being guided to the internal changes to get ready for that as a mosquito. And hey, Daniela. I feel really weird just watching and not saying anything. Yeah, you got to type it in. It's okay. I'm used to doing this. I'm used to doing videos and these lives. I used to do a lot of webinars years ago before Facebook did lives and YouTube did lives. I've been doing this kind of thing for a long time. And because I've got the psychic stuff, I can connect in with people's energies. So it's not as weird for me as it is for anyone else. So don't worry, Daniela, and welcome, mosquito. Yeah, so we can have what we want. Our higher selves are leading us to it, but it's internal work that's going on for the most people at the moment to get you there. And as I said, it could be that you got a little bit lazy and you realize that life was a little bit too easy before, and now you're being challenged. And it's time to develop those, that inner motivation, inner motivation. And self-discipline is a huge thing. Self-discipline is a huge thing that I think a lot of people have lost, especially in the easier countries, You come to the harder living countries, or where it's not as easy, like Thailand. Thailand is like a second world country. It's moved out of third world country kind of thing, and second world country, and it's kind of going into the first world kind of thing now. So, yeah, it's still their way of life is more difficult than other countries, but that's a good thing, That's a good thing. Keeps people strong, can deal with things like this. So sometimes we've got to challenge ourselves, especially when external validation from the world isn't going on. What is this? Romance and work. Yeah, maybe that's what's not happening at the moment, as it usually is. Why would romance and work be together for today? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe these two things are kind of put together today. I don't know. If you're still working, if you're doing things in a different way. It's a weird time now for single people. I don't know who's having it easier in lockdown. Romantic work, yeah. Yeah, maybe it's hard work. The romance is hard work right now. I don't know who's having it easier at the moment. Single people who are in lockdown by themselves. I like that. I mean, it's good for me. Or people that are in relationships locked in the house together. I can imagine that that's harder. So yeah, whatever this means to you, I don't know. It could be different for everyone, hey? Romance and work. Maybe we've got to make a bit of an effort, a bit more of an effort with our romance, especially if we're not with our partners. That could be it, right? You know, there's a lot of people, you know, aren't living together, can't see each other anymore, or shouldn't be seeing each other anymore if they're in lockdown. And maybe that's the work that's going on to keep that romance alive. We've got to get creative, don't we, with our communications. How are you going, Carolee? Oh, look at this. The past it keeps on coming up. It came up in the April readings too. Have you seen your April reading yet? Yeah, the past and it being okay, like all the past challenges we've had, what we've been living, it hasn't been wrong. We're in a huge time of change now, but it hasn't been wrong. Hey, Eva. Using your son's YouTube. Cool. Subscribe with his YouTube. Get more subscribers. Wolfie. Welcome, Eva. How are you going, Eva? So this is saying the past that we've lived, it hasn't been wrong. It's brought us to where we are. Really. And, you know, in those April reads, for a lot of signs, it was about us being valued now. And that we weren't being valued in the past is not a wrongness, because it's challenges, just like I've said, it's challenges that make us grow. And if we're not being challenged by our environment, if life is too easy because of the culture that we live in, or the times that we live in, then we've got to have some self-discipline and give ourselves like mini challenges to stay strong. And yeah, we grow the most when we're challenged. And so if you have found that you're one of the people that hasn't been valued until now, you're not been paid very much, what you do and your skills hasn't been valued, which, let's face it, is pretty much most of the women on the planet. And a lot of caring, feminine kind of skilled occupations, let's put it that way, they haven't been valued either. But it's okay, because that was the perfect conditions for us to grow. You know, it's like, since my guides got me looking at femininity, masculinity, all of that. And quite a few years ago now, the kind of all my channelings were going on about that quite a few years ago. And so I looked into it for myself, and I really picked up that, you know, even though it seems like men have had it easy, you know, in the masculine world that we've been in, it's been a man's world for sure. But the thing is, it caused them not to grow. They haven't had to grow because they've had it too easy. Whereas it's been really hard for women, you know, and probably getting easier now for women when you look at like even 20 years ago, you know, some countries, women still didn't have very many rights at all, even 20 years ago. And then look about 40 years ago, really bad. And so women have been in a lot of adversity, and it's made us really strong. We've had to evolve, we've had to grow, you know. And so this is why we're seeing now women are in a better state than men, mentally, emotionally, because of that, because of the challenges we've been through. And so, yeah, don't look back thinking, oh, it's been terrible and I'm a victim and all of that. Look back and see that the adversity that we've all been through, if it's that you've not been valued, if it's that, you know, life has been tough, see that it's actually grown you as a person. And it could be worse. You could have had it really easy and then not grown as a person. And now, where would you be now? Where would you be now? You know, there's been a couple of suicides in Thailand of Westerners in this last week, and it's been the men. They're more likely to commit suicide, and that's for this reason too. They're the ones that have got sick. It's been a couple of Westerners, guys, that have got sick, and the medical care is pretty expensive in this country. Not for Thais, it's expensive for Westerners. They've got dual pricing. And they really slam Westerners if you're unlucky enough to have to need hospital stuff. And so, unfortunately, some people are committing suicide when they're getting sick. It obviously must be the easiest option. But yeah, we're on track. We are on track. the past has been right for us. It's brought us to where we are. And in the April readings as well was this message that as times are changing now, as things are getting easier for us, as we're starting to get valued, what you don't want to do is bring that past in. You don't want to bring any bitterness or resentment or any bad feeling from the past in. So as someone's valuing you now, you don't want to be in that energy of like, fuck you, you didn't value me before. You want to be open-hearted and to receive people valuing you now. Yeah. And so we've got to let go of the past, especially if we've felt bad about it. So if you're like if you've still got like negative feelings toward not being valued or life being hard for women or whatever it is, if you're feeling like a victim in any way for the past, you've got to let that stuff go now, because we want to be open to receiving these changes that we've got coming in. Your son loves my videos as well. Oh, cool. 10-year-old Aries. I'm mostly Aries, I've got like Taurus Sun, and I'm Gemini rising, and the rest, pretty much everything else in my chart is Aries. So I get Aries a lot. Well, that's cool. Carolee's good. You're okay. You're not good. You're okay. I'm really good. Thanks, Carolee. I'm a bit tired. I could do with a day off. I think maybe I'll have a day off tomorrow. Or not do so much tomorrow. I could do with a day of just like laying around watching films or something like that. I hadn't realized that 10-year-olds were watching me. I put that my videos aren't for children on my YouTube thing, and they aren't. So unfortunately, we've got the card of despair today. He's a very gifted kid who struggles to fit in. Yeah, that makes sense then, why he liked my videos. He's one of us. Despair, this is not good. So if anyone's feeling real bad, if it's getting real hard for you, listen to this. I need your divine intercession right now, O Great Spirit. Lift this darkness from my soul. Free me from this burden. Open me to your highest plan. May I be a peaceful vessel for your love. So if you're feeling despair, or if you're feeling very worried, if you're feeling, I don't know, if you're just like worried, if like money's stopped for you or something, and you're frightened about that, ask for that, I need your divine intercession right now, O Great Spirit. You're allowed to ask for help, absolutely, you are. And it's really good to do that. My videos help his mind stay at ease. Isn't that beautiful? Hello, Wolfie. How cute. So that's it today. Be willingness to go for it. Use our time, any time that you've got, spare time that you've got, or a lot of spare time that you've got at the moment. Use it wisely. Use it to do productive things for yourself, whether that's like giving yourself a new goal or something for health, or whatever it is. One step at a time. You can have what you want. You're being moved toward it. Got a lot of inner work going on at the moment. Check out my April reads for that stuff, for your signs. Probably your sun sign, your rising sign, and what else? I don't know. Not really a Venus time at the moment, is it? I don't know. Romance and work. No idea what that is. Maybe we've got to work at romance a little bit more, especially if we've got relationships where we're not with them. Probably even more so if we've got relationships where we're locked in the house with them. To keep that romance going when we can't go out for candlelit dinners and stuff. Got to be more creative. Romance right now. That would be nice. But not to have them in my house. Like I'm really careful about who I have in my space. Really careful, and I wouldn't just want anybody. And certainly not living with them. Have to be the right person to want to live with them or even have them in my space. So the past, we've got to let the past go, especially past resentments or anything like that, because the past has been good for us, especially if it's been challenging. It's caused us to evolve and grow and all of that good stuff. Okay, who wants a reading? Pop up a message saying me, please, if you want one. So I connect in with your higher self, pass on messages from your higher self. As I said before, it's about inner work, about changing beliefs, changing energy, healing yourself. It's about your life purpose path, the stuff that your higher self is really interested in. It's not interested in gossip, something like that. Jocelyn. Jocelyn's up first. Even more so, my husband is always in my space. Sorry about that, Carolee. Yeah, I think single people do have it easier at the moment. Ooh, Jocelyn. Preparing for success. One of the signs had this. Maybe that is your sign in the April readers. Yeah, you're being prepared for success now. And so the inner work that you're doing right now is preparing you for the success that's coming. You know, the people that have been successful before, they're not going to be able to be successful now because they're not fooling anyone anymore. You know, the people producing junk or stuff that's not good for human beings, or, you know, all of that. They're not going to be successful anymore because everyone's waking up to what's really important to them or not. And similarly, and those who are essential, deemed essential now, or those that have these like feminine skills, like I was talking about, are going to be valued much more now. And so the success is kind of being flipped. So Jocelyn, you're going to be successful, and you've got to prepare for that now because, you know, the world is changing completely. Conditions are changing completely. And so, yeah. And you know how I was saying to open up and receive this stuff, you've got to get rid of the bitterness, resentment, anything from the past. You've got to give that up, and especially the stuff that you've done and your reactions to it as well. You've got to give that stuff up too. Jocelyn, I've got half price. It's still the weekend, so I've got half price offer on at the moment on abundance and money reads. If you want one of those, the link is here. I'm just thinking because of that success preparing, you might want to get like a private read. So there, and it's only going on for another like 2 hours, maybe less now, that half price sale, and then it's ending. So those are 60 Australian dollars instead of 120 Australian dollars, which is about 40 US. Don't know where you are. Don't know where you are, Jocelyn. Carolee. So that's good news, Jocelyn. You're going to be successful, but you got to get ready for it. Because it's really a paradigm shift, you know, especially if you've decided that you are, maybe you've come to terms with not being one of the successful people, or you've got into kind of a pattern of being in the unsuccessful club. Remember when we got that guidance a few weeks ago, or was it a few months ago on here? I don't know, I can't remember. But we got that guidance to open ourselves up to the success tribe now. Remember that? Carolee, fulfillment. Oh, this has been coming up in people's abundance readings so much. To go for the fulfillment, and the money sorts itself out. Fulfillment, and be okay about that. What fulfills you, even if you're a weirdo. You're welcome, Jocelyn. Even if you're a weirdo, Carolee. Not saying that you are, of course. You're not weird to me. But yeah, what fulfills you? You know, when you see people doing really bizarre things and they get great success with that, just because that's what they're really into and it fulfills them, so they do it, and then everyone applauds them for it, even if it's really weird, you know? Like, you know who's a really great example of that? I can't even remember his name now. The guy with the long ginger hair that does those funny spiritual videos, taking the piss out of spiritual people. What's his name? JP Sears. It's that kind of thing. It's like that stuff fulfills him, and it's a bit weird, right? And I don't know how he gets away with it, but it's really funny, really funny. And so whatever fulfills you in whatever way, even if it's not what fulfills other people, this is like, Carolee, it's time to do your own thing in your own way, fully being yourself, and be fulfilled and be okay about what makes you so weird. So, Carolee, does that mean that you're thinking you've been holding back from what it is that you want to do because you're afraid of people thinking you're weird? Flying your freak flag, your woo-woo flag? Yeah, so this is your fears about other people. But really it's about you. It's about you. I remember like years ago you had this friend. She's not my friend anymore. I turned my back on her because she was a customer of mine. She became a friend of mine. So she'd get readings a lot, and we became friends. And But then one day I asked her to share my stuff and she wouldn't. And she was pretty much like in total judgment of my work. But she was saying it was about other people. Oh, no, everyone's going to think I'm woo-woo or weird or, you know. But it was her, like she was saying it was everybody else. But it's like, no, that's your beliefs. And I had no idea that you were so like against my work. And I could just like feel it then that, you know. It's that kind of thing. If you're believing that other people are going to think you're weird, they know that you're weird, Caroline. Really, you've never heard of him? Yeah, JP Sears. Check him out. It's just so funny. But if you're thinking that other people are going to think you're weird for doing what you love, you got to forgive them, but then you've got to realize that really it's just in the back of your mind. It's you that's thinking you're weird. This is about self-acceptance, yeah, of what fulfills you. They know you're weird. That's funny. Who else wants one? Oh, Wolfie, I received a reading yesterday. Can you please share a little guidance for my son? Oh, his 11th birthday is April 1st. April Fool's Day. Yes, but who's next? Daniela, how are you going? Daniela's up next. Daniela, you've got, well, it came out this way around, flowing. Looks something bitey is crawling on me. I'm good, Daniela. I'm a little bit tired. Just a little bit. Daniela, your higher self is saying things are flowing for you, not everything, of course. That's what's happening at the moment. Some things have stopped flowing so that other things that are more important can start flowing. And we've got to recognize that. We've got to not focus on what isn't happening, what we can't do, and all of that, and get focused on what we can do, what is flowing. And this is saying one step at a time. So your higher self is redirecting you from the negative, from focusing on the negative of what's not working, what's not flowing, to the positive of what is flowing for you. So redirection, right? Our higher selves are redirecting us to what's important to us. Oh, this is interesting, Daniela. The stuff that's happened in your life that you're not responsible for, it's kind of happened to you, some people in your life or someone in your life has had a negative effect on your life. And it's time for you to empower yourself and actually stop taking it on yourself. Stop blaming yourself. Stop. Maybe it's somebody that's a bully or something like that. They're doing something to you and then they're turning around saying it's your fault because of something that you've done. You know, people like that. And maybe you've been kind of believing that and you've been taking it on. Or maybe you've been like listening to law of attraction stuff and thinking that everything is your fault. Everything is like something that you have created, which is kind of true. But in this case, it's like it's just about being empowered. It's just about saying no. And this is saying that you actually need to communicate that. You need to communicate that it's not your responsibility. It's not your fault. It's their behavior. It's what they've done. It's their consequences. It's not you. You're being asked by your higher self to be empowered now and stand up for yourself and not take other people's shit anymore when they're trying to put it on you, and communicate and put the responsibility firmly back on their shoulders and actually communicate that. That is going to stop this pattern that you've had. Like that's, if there's any law of attraction about this, it's just that you've not been doing that. You've not been handing back responsibility. You know, we could go through life just taking responsibility for everything around us. And that's not law of attraction. It's just that we're putting up with stuff that's not ours. So, time to get empowered, Daniela. Definitely resonates. Guilt is a huge issue for me. Yeah, don't take it on, Daniela. Don't take stuff that's not yours on, no matter what anyone says. Like, people get lazy, especially with people that take responsibility. Other people get lazy around that. They're quite happy to pass on responsibility to everyone else and pass on the blame. Eva, yes, your son, Wolfie. Little guidance for him. Happy birthday, Wolfie. This came up for someone else's child. Saska's. In a reading, yeah. Wolfie, friends, this is about friendships. You know, Isaac. Wolfie, I like Wolfie. So Isaac, that's a nice name. I like that name. Yeah, Wolfie. Okay, Wolfie. This is about friends. And you know when you can't see your friends anymore, and those people that you've been trying to please, trying to make happy, trying to be friends with, trying to make accept you, there's no point. Like, there's no point in doing that. I think like now you're having time away from your friends. It's just showing you who's not important to you. It might feel like a relief not to have to do that. Exhausting yourself trying to please friends that aren't really your friends. So this is saying like allow nicer people to be your friends. Just be careful who you try and please and who you try and be friends with. But you're getting clarity about that at the moment. Because there are people like you, Wolfie. There are people like you. But if you're wasting your time trying to be friends with people that aren't like you, you're just wasting your energy. And so relax. You are going to find those people that are like you. You're going to get some really real friends, really real friends. And so this time right now, time by yourself, just relax, because this is, it's allowing you to break free of that exhausting pattern of trying to please people that aren't really your friends. I love reading for kids. It's always about friendships and stuff. It's cool. Who else would like a reading? No. Well, there you go. You've got some real friends coming in, Wolfie. Isn't that? I think that goes for adults too. We've all been doing that. A lot of anxiety. Yeah, that'll be why you got the relax card. Relax and breathe and relax. Anyone else want a reading? Anyone else there? Have you all watched your April reads? Dion. Hey, Dion. How are you? First time I've managed to come and listen for quite a while. Yeah, I haven't seen you for a while. And everybody, well, remember the abundance, the half price abundance money reads, they're still, for maybe another hour and a half, they're still half price offer. That weekend, half price offer. The link is here. Oh, Dion. Ooh, look at this. Dion, communication coming. Life's been way too busy, but it's been nice to listen in again. Cool. You're busy too. I'm really busy at the moment. Thanks for the hugs, Wolfie. Dion, you've got communication coming. You've got something coming in. News, but it's like an opportunity. It's something good coming in that's going to take you beyond glass ceilings. You know, have you experienced like a glass ceiling, whether that's in like earnings or progression, like career progression or anything like that? Glass ceilings, it just can't seem to get past. And maybe you've been working on yourself thinking, you know, this barrier somehow in me and I need to get past that. And this is saying like, no, that glass ceiling was actually a collective consciousness thing. It was a society thing kind of thing. You know, there's certain things we can't do, right, because of society constrictions, not without breaking the law. So Dion, that's going to be lifted. That glass ceiling that you've had is going to be lifted, and opportunities coming in to allow you to do that. It feels like suddenly gaining the respect and the valuing. I'm seeing like, you know, the people that are going to be respected now and looked up to are the ones that are really solid in themselves. You know, like if everyone's in fear and they don't know what the hell to do because everything's changed, those people that are really clear and have clarity and are really solid and grounded, they're naturally going to attract everyone else and everyone's going to listen to them. I've got this feeling about you too. April Reed, I think you commented, Mimi, on one of my posts about it, and I replied with your link. But yeah, you can find them on my YouTube channel. There's a playlist for monthly reads. Dion, yes, I'm so stuck at the moment. I know there's more out there and feel limited. Can't seem to get there. Well, don't worry about it. You will get there. Something's coming in. As I said, these limitations, they haven't just been inside of you. They have been imposed on you by the collective, by society, and it's going to be released now. So I'm feeling like it's like your time with your energy. It's your time now. What else, Dion? Yeah, and just accept where you are right now and enjoy this time. Do things that are fun for you. It's an important thing, right? To be in the vibration of what we want to go forward with. So if you think about it, like if an opportunity that you want it to be fun, you want it to be fulfilling, go get into that energy right now by even, doing things in your personal life, in your home, that make you feel that way. So if you want fulfillment, start fulfilling yourself now in anything that you do. You know how I was talking about in the going deeper into the daily about self-discipline and giving yourself like tasks and stuff like that, and challenges to get wins when the external world isn't giving you any validation because nothing's going on. You can get that validation by these wins. That's why like exercise is so good, especially in the morning. It's like, I can't go to the gym at the moment, but I could, when I was going to the gym, I could like decide I'm going to do my 5K run, and a little bit faster this time. And then, that's a win. That's a validation that you want. And so have some fun, Dion. Like, accept where you're at the moment, but help yourself get into the vibration you want to be in for what's coming. This is why entrepreneurs do all of that inner work and do these things, have this self-discipline and these practices, because it affects the business coming in when you get into that vibration of what you want. And so if you're winning, if you like get up in the morning and you start winning by giving yourself like little challenges, and then you win at those little challenges, then you win in your business all day long because you've chosen that vibration, and it just attracts success. And so you have got something coming in, Dion. Your limitations are being lifted, but you've got to get yourself in that vibration. So don't feel stuck. Get ready for what's coming. Mimi's next. I'm hungry. That's because I went for a run 2 hours ago more. But I still haven't eaten yet, just coffee. Mimi, didn't you get something about this yesterday? Dion says, that's exactly the reminder I needed today. I've not been fun for myself or for my family the last week or so. Yeah, stop that downward spiral. Just accept where you're at and have some fun in it. Things are changing, Dion. Don't worry. Mimi, didn't you get something about this, Mimi? I mean, about romance and partners and stuff like that. It's like, you don't need to try right now. Maybe you're in talks with someone. You're welcome, Dion. Maybe you're in talks with someone or flirting with someone online or something like that, Mimi. I don't know what's going on for you. But this is saying, like, take a step back, let them chase you, that kind of thing. Be receptive instead. Look, physical action, make love. Just get on with your own life, doing it's very attractive that, when we get on with our own lives, when we get on with our own paths and we're just like, working on our business or working on, being really healthy and happy in ourselves, it's very attractive to people. And then they start chasing you and they want in. And that's when you're like, my life is great. You've got to bring something really good if you want in my life. And that's when you get like a real high caliber of partner in. Bit of a soulmate reading for you there, Mimi. You're welcome, Dion. Anyone else want a reading? Oh, it was 4422 when I just looked then. Yes, I'm very hungry. If that's it with everybody, I'm going to make my breakfast now because I'm starving. Bacon and eggs for me, yum. Thank you everyone for coming along. Remember to click like on this video, share it. Oh, it's 4444 just then as well. Seeing the repeated numbers. And yeah, if you want one of those abundance money reads, well, it's in the half price sale. You've got about an hour and a half left. And you got distracted by something shiny. And what else? Yeah, have a great day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. See you tomorrow. Come along tomorrow. Bye.